Hello, everyone. This is Mylene Baudouin. We are here today with Mindie Kniss. She is a coach I am presently working with to help my business grow, and I wanted to present her to you because she has an awesome program coming up soon, and I think it would benefit a lot of you to get involved in it. So, without any further ado, Mindie Kniss, how are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome. Thanks so much for this opportunity.
Thank you. So, can you please tell us about yourself, how you got involved into coaching, and why did you choose to become a coach?
Yeah, definitely. I started in corporate America, and my initial thought there was that I would work for a few years, make some money, get some experience, and then I would go do what I wanted to do because it certainly wasn't that. And it was a huge Fortune 100 company, so great job, great pay, great benefits, everything was awesome. And my plan didn't really work out. I stayed there a lot longer than I was intending. So I was there for about 7 years. And at that 7 year point, I won a fellowship and ended up living in Africa for part of a year. And it was in Africa that I really said, okay, I really have to take this seriously. What do I want to do with my life? What should I do with my life? What am I good at? What are the needs of the world? And how can I create something that would answer all of those things? And for me, it was coaching. The reason I chose coaching was that it was essentially what I had always been doing. I was the person who people would come to for advice. I was the person who, even people that I didn't know necessarily, they would come up and say, "Hey, can I talk to you?" They just had this instinctual trust in me, and I had this kind of wise old woman archetype, I guess, because that's how people would always respond to me. And so I had looked at doing that and I thought, wow, if I can make a career out of doing that, that would be really fun. I'd really enjoy being able to help people transform their lives and achieve their own goals because I know how much of my dreams are so important to me that I really want to help other people reach their dreams as well. So that was the beginning of it, moving from corporate America into being an entrepreneur as a coach. And that started in 2006.
Great. And how did you create the core program that we're going to talk about today?
Yeah, that's actually an awesome question because it was not something that I was intending to do. I had always been a personal coach and working with one on one clients or just very small groups of people. I was also running a wilderness retreat called Heart Path every year. And it was at Heart Path that I met a lot of people that came through that program. And they would say things like, I think I'd like to be a coach. Or, I really thought it was cool what you've put together. And how could I do something similar? And I was actually pretty against coach training programs. I've been outspoken in the past about how I don't think coach certification programs are all that helpful in a lot of cases because I don't believe that a piece of paper certifying you makes you a good coach. So it was kind of funny that I said, well, maybe I'll start a coach training program. But it was really based on those people at HeartPath saying, where would I begin? How do I start? What do I do? And I thought, if I could give you guys the framework and the foundation to build a coaching practice, that would be really fun. And I think it would be pretty cool as well. So that was the start of it. And then last year I did a pilot program just to try it out. So it was the very first one. It ended up selling out in a week and people had a great time and I had a great time. So I was like, let's do it again.
Great. And I know your training is very particular. I mean, you did not go through tell me about your PhD basically.
Yeah, so I have a various interesting background because I didn't get certified as a coach, and honestly, no one's ever cared. No one asks, where did you get your coach certification? And unless it's another coach, sometimes they're interested. But so my PhD, I wrote my dissertation in heart intelligence. And what that is there's a whole new branch of science now called neurocardiology, which is looking at the actual intelligence of the heart organ as opposed to just the brain running the show and calling all the shots. What's cool about the heart is, and actually you would know this better than most of us in the US, is that the root of Well, let's just start with core. Core is Latin for heart. And that went into French as coeur, which is heart, and the root of the word courage. So if you look at that as the essence of your strength and who you are, what you are here to do in the world, I think that it's all tied into this heart intelligence. So one of the distinguishing factors about Core Coach Training Academy is that it's not just about mindset, because so many coaches and so many coach training programs talk a lot about mindset, 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 and they give you techniques and all of these things. And I'm saying you have to go a little bit deeper. I want to help people be able to coach from a deeper and more profound level. So we have to align both the heart and the head. So.
And if I may add something, the first coaching we had together, I remember that I did not take a lot of notes, but I did make some huge changes. It was more about how I felt about how I was doing things and where am I coming from and where am I going. It was more about that than that. Come on, girl, you can do this.
Being the cheerleader.
Yeah. So that's the major difference that this made. And I'm very curious about that neurocardiology thing. And I really can't wait to hear more on that. And who are the people you work with as a coach?
Yeah, another great question, because my clients are super diverse. I work mostly with entrepreneurs, but a lot of those type of people are those that either have come from corporate America or are yet to leave corporate America. You know, so many people come to me and say, yeah, I think I'd really like to be a coach, but I have my full-time job that supports my lifestyle and supports my family right now. How could I possibly leave that and make enough money to create a sustainable business and still be able to afford my lifestyle? So that's a huge question that they have. And I can luckily say I've done it. I've seen both the things that do work and a lot of the things that don't work, because I've made a ton of mistakes in my day. So my whole goal with Core is to say, let me make this easier for you. Let me help you not have to go through all the mistakes and the things that I made. So some of the people that I work with, I've worked with, obviously, people who want to become coaches. Last year in Core, there was a guy who was a project engineer. And he thought, I'm not necessarily going to be a coach per se, but I coach all the time in my work as a project engineer. So I want to learn the skills to do that better, to do that more effectively and efficiently. So he came through the program based on that. I've also worked with some of the top coaches of MMA fighters, and, so a variety of, there's a little bit of sports coaching, there's a little bit of business coaching, and then a whole lot of life and development coaching, personal development coaching. So really from all those fields is where my clients have come from.
So anybody who's involved with human relations and their daily job would be a good fit for the Core program.
Yeah, if they want to improve on what they are doing. I'm really, I don't want to say picky, because that sounds more negative than it is, but I really want it to be a good fit for those of you who are interested in something like Core. I'd love to have a conversation with any of those people to say, is this the right program for you? Is coaching right for you? Because if it's not, that's totally fine too. And I'm happy to point out other resources. But I want to be really clear that it has to be the right thing, because it's a really powerful technology.
Very good. So is there anything that we have not covered that you would like to add?
I think, my thing is always about following your heart. And I did that. I had to go through a lot of hardship, unfortunately, in my journey. But what I would have liked is something like Core. Essentially Core is my answer to my former self. I wish it would have been around when I was going through this stuff, because I know it would have made my transition into being an entrepreneur, being a coach, just a lot easier and also a lot more fun, because I would have someone to kind of bounce ideas off of and see about things. There's so many things that I really love about Core. Mostly is the one-on-one interactions. I spend a lot of time just one-to-one with every student in Core, figuring out what's going to be the best path for them, and figuring out how to tap into their own heart wisdom. It's not like I'm saying, oh, you need to be a coach like me. No, I want to help you tap into your own intuition and your own heart path so that you are solid when you go out there and you're doing it on your own. I don't want to be your your crutch and, oh, what would Mindie do? Or, what are the techniques that she would recommend? It's not even technique based. It's all about you. So if core, everything we've been talking about sounds like it might be of interest, I would say follow that. Follow that nudge from the universe. Check it out. Let's have a phone call if you want to have a phone call. I'm happy to answer any questions and just see if it's right for you.
Excellent. Thank you very, very much. And I hope a lot of our crew in Quebec will join the program and help us Quebecers to grow our business and grow our life. Thank you
Awesome.
very much.
Thank you very much.